Hey there trainers, welcome back! You're with PewterCityJim, and today we're going to do another addition or two to the Solar Region Pokédex. For those of you who are new or haven't checked in for a while, welcome! Sola is this channel's ongoing project to describe a Pokédex worth of new Fakemon for our region based on Southern California and some of the surrounding areas. So it's kinda like we're the survey team from Legends Arceus finding all these facts about new Pokemon, except it's all stuff that I'm making up as I go along. Sola is full of deserts, beaches, an ocean, highways, freeways, concrete jungles, and real ones. So far we have over 50 species, ranging from dogs and cats all the ways to extra-dimensional beings and haunted cardboard boxes. This week we have another bug to look at, and yeah, we actually do have a lot of bugs in Sola. The early route bugs, the wasps we introduced during the Easter bonus episode, Vigilum is actually a bug type as well, but you know what? In most ecosystems, bugs make up the majority of life forms, so this kind of feels right. Bugs are literally everywhere. These are all photos and videos just from my neighborhood. So, which creepy crawly critter are we checking out today? You might know them by a bunch of names actually. When I was a little kid looking for bugs in the backyard, I was told they were called slaters. You might call them pill bugs, roly-polies, bibble bugs, monkey peas, sow bugs, chuggy pigs, the gray M&Ms, that one I made up, Johnny Grumps, or the Palmer worm. I swear, I'm not kidding. This little critter has more common nicknames than almost any other animal. We're talking the woodlouse, or terrestrial isopod if you prefer. Terrestrial? Yep, there are also aquatic versions, and some of them get pretty big. Wimpod and Galisopod are based on these. Hey, what kind of critter do you think they are, by the way? Because they aren't insects and they're not arachnids. They're actually crustaceans, the same grouping of animals as shrimp, lobster, crayfish, and crabs. Most places in the world, except the poles, have some variety of terrestrial woodlouse, which, you know, it kinda makes sense because most places have wood of some sort for them to louse up and eat. Anyway, let's head somewhere a little more dark and in line with the woodlouse's preferred environment. So this is actually an older design of mine. I've mentioned the contest before, infamous Trainer's Neos Region contest, to which I submitted 2 Pokemon lines. One got picked up, that being the Taytottle line, but the second line was a woodlouse based on a particular scene in Black Clover, which is one of the Neos region's primary influences. In the scene, a character creates an energy field of bronze magic, which can also fire projectiles. Someone comments that it looks like a big bug from a rainforest. A perfect Pokemon concept in my opinion. This was my final design and its evolution. The first stage though, something about it just stuck with me. A grumpy little steel bug that fires little cannonballs to keep predators away. Even though it wasn't designed for Sola, we can make this work, I think. Again, woodlice are everywhere, and we definitely have plenty in Southern California. In terms of colors, I stuck with the warm blue I'd used originally for the shell, and I wanted to keep the patchy, scaly look I'd added to the rendering. I did make it just a hair darker, though. This is for a creature that hides under logs in old abandoned buildings. It's going to want to camouflage a lot. For the underside though, I actually went with a cool light blue bordering on a super light purple. This is a bit of a reference to the light blue/purple that isopods become after shedding. They're just so light and soft colors, and it's actually kind of pretty. And here we have Grumpoli, the reluctant Pokemon. Grumpoli spend most of their lives in darkness under fallen logs and in old, unused buildings. They eat any old vegetation from autumn leaves to whole fallen branches. They will fire wooden cannonballs at you from the ports in their shells if you approach. Here are your stats and moves. Being Bug and Steel, you see both types represented in the move pool, as well as a few dark type attacks to reference their grumpy, surly kind of nature. Grumpoli? Well, Grump and Roly-Poly. Johnny Grump is just such a cute nickname for the woodlouse that I couldn't resist borrowing it. Now, onto the evolution. The original second evolution was very much themed around armored knights and the European tradition. It looks neat, but it's not very resonant with this region. I was also leaning on that same kaiju-esque body plan I referenced in the video about Conifer and its evolutions. I'm gonna keep that idea and, in fact, create an in-universe rivalry between this Pokemon and Ponderosa. The woodlouse Pokemon having beef with a Pokemon based around pine trees? It just works too well to ignore. So we have a big, bulky frame and some of the same design elements as the older version. This time though, we're looking at a bigger, more bruiser type body plan. Colors are similar to the first form, with a little extra flair. The addition of black steel just to make it look that much more, I don't know, menacing, I guess. And here we have Roly-Pummel, the woodlouse Pokemon. With a mean disposition, this Pokemon is one to be avoided, especially for grass types which it hunts relentlessly. Battles between Roly-Pummel and Ponderostump are said to last for days. Here are your stats and moves. Lots of defensive attacks and stalling attacks to draw out those battles against its arch-rival, whose main source of energy is sunlight and water. Roly-Poly and Pummel are the sources for this name. It's so fun to say. Roly-Pummel, Roly-Pummel, Roly-Pummel. In terms of abilities, you have Sap Sipper for both. This powers up attack when hit by a grass-type move. The hidden ability is Mega Launcher. This powers up Aura and Pulse moves, which these critters can make some use of. Here are your shinies. They're bright purple as a reference to a viral infection that woodlice can get that turns them this incredible shade of indigo. Unfortunately, it's also fatal, so not super nice for these lice. But they look amazing, and the shiny Pokemon version would be perfectly healthy, I promise. Oh, and here's your egg rolling on in. Now, where would you find these guys? Actually, in a lot of places. One thing about Sola, there's no shortage of abandoned places out in the deserts. Old buildings, and even whole towns that have been left to the sun and wind. These guys would set up shop inside these places quite happily, as well as inside forests where, logs have fallen over and there's just lots of rotting wood and leaf litter and stuff like that. And that's all I got for you this month, trainers. I hope you enjoyed these critters. Next month, we're going to be looking at another line of regional variants, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, take care of yourself, trainers. Bye!